Sitting here is it's known as Frankenstein. This is the bass that we built in like 73, and it's just covered in signatures and stuff. One of the things, and it just got a kind of a rebirth, was Jackson Browne's first album, which had the song "Doctor My Eyes" on it. Where I think all the songs, Jackson is one of the finest songwriters I've ever worked with. But Doctor My Eyes caught people for some reason. It was his most successful single. And, if I pull up YouTube, I see so many people doing, showing, their version of the bass line. But there's a thing called playing for change that they take a song and record it, and then they go around the world and have artists from all over the world contribute to it. And they just did that with Dr. My Eyes. We were in the studio working on The Immediate Family, and Jackson came by and he said, they've asked me to do this. And he got myself and Russ, we both played on the original Dr. My Eyes. We sat down in the studio and recreated it. I actually had the bass I used on the original, and wow. Russ had the conga drums that he played on the original. Because when we recorded that song originally, Russ played congas and then overdubbed the drum track afterwards, but the basic track was cut with congas. And then the great Jesse Ed Davis, one of the great guitar players of the day, who's no longer with us, came in and put a guitar solo on it. So all of a sudden it hit, and it's had like millions of views on YouTube and stuff. So suddenly Dr. My Eyes got a new life going again. But I loved working with Jackson, and that was our first experience together, was that first album. And it's a relationship I've had as long as I've had with the guys. And we did Running on Empty with Jackson, and which is still one of the greatest live albums. So
that's incredible. And just a quick talk on the bass. You said you had the original. I mean, that's 1972. That's we probably recorded in 1971, in fact. So over 50 years you've had that bass. Do you have many basses from all the way back in time?
No, that's kind of the oldest one I have. And I had that since the 60s, and it was a 62 jazz bass. And one night while I was in college, I got bored and I took out a knife and a saw and carved the body all up and everything on it, which was a mistake, but at the time it felt right. But I still use that bass. It's great. And then right next to me, sitting here, is it's known as Frankenstein. This is the bass that we built in like 73, and it's just covered in signatures and stuff. And it was never a real bass. It's a Charvel body. Charvel was a company making replacement parts, and a 62 precision neck that we made into a jazz neck, and it has the very first DMG pickups, the very first hip shot detuner. So it was that's been my workhorse all the years. And then I also am involved with Dingwall for a 5-string, and Warwick for acoustics. So I'm not a collector. I have the basses that are important to me that I need for my job, but I'm not like a John Entwistle who had like 600 basses, have them hanging all over the walls and everything. That's not my thing, even though I was fortunate enough to sell John one of my basses that he wanted. So it was okay.
That is very cool. And that bass that you just showed us, thank you very much for showing us. I'm sure that's got a lot of stories it could tell as well. Incredible stuff.
Incredible stuff with that one.